Hi, my name is Trudy MacDonald. I'm the Managing Director of TalentCode HR. In this video, I wanted to share with you some of the current thinking about rebuilding a high-performance workforce as we start to move into a new pattern of working. Interestingly, talking to dozens of business leaders every week all over the country, what's become evident is that we're likely to merge into a hybrid model of working, whereby there's much more flexibility than we've ever experienced. However, with this comes some real challenges around how we look at our people practices to make sure that we can continue to optimize productivity and performance moving forward. There's many organizations who will continue having people work in a remote or a home environment. There will be others that are bringing parts of their workforce back to a physical environment, and others that are going to be in a hybrid model whereby some individuals may be physically in the office a few days a week and the rest of the time they're going to work from home. So in your planning and preparation for this, it's really important that you follow a few key steps so that ultimately your employees aren't dictating what they want moving forward without having a broader strategic lens to look through, which is ultimately what's your business model going to look like in the future, and ultimately what's the customer experience that we will be expected as you continue to roll forward, because the two have to ultimately align if we want to come up with a successful model. So here's a few tips for your consideration. The starting point for this, before you engage with your team around how they want to return to work and what this is going to look like as time starts to move on, is to make sure that everybody's really clearly aligned with your strategy and the new ways of work that are going to be established as we start to move forward. This is all around what your processes are going to look like, how you will engage with your customers, and how the team needs to engage with each other. The second step, once everybody understands the business context, is to explore different scenarios to see how they could play out on a practical level. So what's it going to mean if some of the team are in the office for a few days a week but work remotely other days a week? And specifically, what does this mean for how you communicate as an organization, but also how you drive accountability when people aren't necessarily engaging in a consistent manner every day? The third step is then to identify the challenges associated with those different scenarios, and as a team collectively see if you can come up with a framework for overcoming those challenges. And then finally, don't forget to reflect on what you've learnt through the pandemic period where people were in temporary ways of working. Specifically, what are the things that your organization and your team were able to achieve, and how do you take the best of those behaviors and possibly some new habits or rituals that were created and actually deliberately make them part of your new way of working? Doing that in a way that's very supportive and is sustainable is the final thing to think about here. We're in an environment right now where a lot of people are change fatigued, they're burnt out, and from a mental toughness and resilience perspective, many people are right on the edge. So as you start to establish your new ways of working, making sure that's done in a way that's sustainable is going to be just as important. If you would like to have a chat around how you can re-establish new ways of working within your organization to make sure you're optimizing productivity and performance, we would be delighted to have a chat to you about how some of the tools and frameworks that we have could be embedded within your organization.